Welcome back, students. I am your geography teacher Vandana Joshi and you are watching SST June. Students, today we will study about soil, in which we will cover few topics as what is soil and how it forms. Second, we will cover the classification of soil, in which we will study the different types of soil in India. Then after that, we will study about the reason of soil degradation and soil erosion. At last of the video, we will study that how we can conserve or protect the soil. So let's see what is soil and how it forms. Soil. As we know, it is the most important layer of the earth, and it is a mixture of rock debris and organic material which develop at the earth's surface. The soil which forms, it is formed by the deposition or the sediments of soil which is bring by the rivers. So we can say it is a formation of the rock debris which are occurring due to the erosion process. So what is the importance of soil? Soil is important because it provides support and nutrition to the plants. It is giving us different type of minerals. Also, it provides shelter to the microorganisms. But there are many factors which are affecting soil, and these factors are relief, parent material, climate, vegetation, life forms, time and human activities, about which we have already studied in our chapter 6 in first book, geomorphic processes, and I have provided that link in the description box. Students, there are many components of soil which are helping to the soil to maintain its moisture and to maintain a fertile quality. These components are the mineral particles, humus, water and air. And one interesting thing, that is, if we dig a pit on land, what we find? We find there are different type of layers, and these are different in colors as well. So what are these layers? These are soil horizon, which can be described as horizon A, horizon B and horizon C. Basically, we are knowing this soil horizon also in the different name. That name is the soil profile. So let's see what is soil horizon or soil profile. If we see in this picture of soil profile, horizon A is the topmost zone where organic materials have got incorporated with the mineral matter, also with the nutrients and water which is necessary for the growth of plant. Now let's see the horizon B or the layer B. It is a transition zone between the horizon A and horizon C and contains matter derived from below as well as from above. It has some organic matter in it, although the mineral matter is noticeably weathered. Now let's see what is horizon C or layer C. Horizon C is composed of the loose parent material. This layer is the first stage in the soil formation process and eventually forms the above two layers. Underneath these three horizons is the rock, which is also known as the parent rock or the bedrock. Soil, which is a complex and varied entity, has always drawn the attention of the scientist. So, if we talk about these horizons or these layers, generally this arrangement of layer is known as the soil profile. As in the soil horizon or soil profile, we have seen the different type of layers which are having the different texture, also the different type of color. So Now we will see how these are getting the different type of color or the different type of texture. So for that we will see the classification of soil. Earlier in the ancient time, the classification of soil was divided into two parts. These were known as Urvara and the Usara. The meaning of Urvara and Usara is the fertile land or the barren land. So, then after that, in the later period, in the 16th century, again the soil is classified into different types on the basis of different aspects. So, it was again classified as its texture, color of soil, slope of land and the moisture contained soil. So, let's see how these classifications are there. On the basis of its texture, the soil can be into different type, or we can identify it into different type, like the soil can be sandy, clayey, silty and loam. If we talk about on the basis of color, the soil can be in the different color as red, yellow, black, about which we will discuss later. If we talk about the Indian classification of soil, in India, ICAR, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, has classified the soil into various types. So let's see with the help of chart. If we see the classification of soil according to ICAR, it has been divided as per the United States Department of Agriculture soil taxonomy, which is as the Ncert soils, antisoils, alphisoils, vetisols, aridisols, altisols and others. If we talk about on the basis of genesis, color, composition and location, the soil of India have been classified into alluvial soil, black soil, red and yellow soil, laterite soil, arid soil, saline soil, peaty soil and the forest soil. Now we will discuss about these different types of soil in India with the help of map, in which we will see their location and the spatial characteristics of these soils. So at very first we will talk about the alluvial soil. These soils are the most widespread soil, covering an area of 8 lakh square kilometer from Punjab to Assam, means to say the entire northern plain. These cover 22.16% total area. These soils have been deposited by sediments brought by river. These are found in river basins, floodplains and the coastal areas. These are deep soil, rich in potash but poor in nitrogen. These soils contain fine particles of soils called alluvium deposits over thousands of years. This alluvium has been deposited by three great Himalayan rivers, Satluj, Ganga and Brahmaputra. These soils are common in the eastern coastal plain. These soils have been deposited by the rivers in river valley of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and their deltas. These are deep and fertile soils, and these soils are suitable for cultivation of jute and sugarcane. The alluvial soil can be of three types. Number 1 is Khadar soil, number 2 Bangar soil and number 3 is newest alluvial soil, in which the finer and new alluvium deposited in floodplains is called Khadar, whereas the Bangar is the older alluvium which is known as Bangar, and the newest alluvial soil is the fine alluvium in deltas. And next type of soil which we are getting in India is the black soil. What is black soil? Black soil are mainly found over the Deccan lava tract, means the Deccan trap, including Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh. These soils are found in river valley of Narmada, Tapti, Godavari and Krishna. These soils have been formed due to weathering of lava rocks. These soils cover an area of about 5 lakh square kilometer, as you can see in this map. These soils are rich in lime, iron, magnesia and alumina. But these lack in phosphorus, nitrogen and organic matter. These are also called regur soil. These soils are most suitable for cotton cultivation and are known as black cotton soil. These soils are compared with Chernozem soil of Russia and prairie soils of USA. These soils can hold water. These soils are suitable for wheat, jowar, sugarcane, tobacco and oil seed too. Now the third type of soil which we are getting in India, this is red and yellow soil. These soils are found in Chota Nagpur Plateau, Telangana, Nilgiris, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and areas of periphery of Deccan Plateau. How these red and yellow soil formed? These soils have been formed due to decomposition of underlying igneous rocks under heavy rainfall. These soils have different shades of red and yellow. The red color of these soils is due to oxidation and diffusion of iron in hard crystalline rocks. These are suitable for the cultivation of millets, pulses, linseed, tobacco, etc. These soils cover the largest area in the peninsular India. Particularly southeast part of the peninsula, these soils are poor in lime, nitrogen and humus. Fertilizers are added to make this type of soil fertile. The next type of soil is the laterite soil. Laterite soil are found on the highland area of plateau. These are found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and hilly regions of Assam, Rajmahal Hills and Chota Nagpur Plateau. Due to monsoonal climate, means wet and dry seasonal alternately occurring. There is the leaching of soil due to heavy rains. It washes away the silica contained in soil. These are shallow, acidic and less fertile soil. The lowland laterite soils are useful for cultivation of food grains and other crops. The upland laterites are thin, porous and infertile. These soils are poor in nitrogen and lime, but rich in iron. So, these are suitable for plantation of crops like tea, rubber and coffee. Another type of soil is known as the arid soil. It is also known in the chart known as aridisol, or we can say the desert soil, which occupying about 19.2% of the earth, and in India it occupying around 4.28%. These soils are characterized by its salinization. Salinizations result from excessive potential evapotranspiration rate in the desert and semi-arid regions of the world. The arid soil are mostly developed in the western Rajasthan in the desert topography. These soils are poor and contain less humus and organic matter. They are generally used for the cultivation of coarse grains like jowar, bajra, ragi and some oil seeds. Another type of soil is saline soil, which is also known as the semi-arid soil, or which we are getting in the area of semi-arid region. They are having a lack of nitrogen and calcium, and also having a range from sandy to loamy. And this type of soils we get in the area of western Gujarat, deltas of the eastern coast, and in Sundarban areas of West Bengal. In the Rana of Kutch, the southwest monsoon brings salt particles and deposits there as a crust. Because a lack of the fertility, this soil is also known as the Usara soil or infantile soil. The pH value of saline alkali soil is around 8.5. These are of widespread occurrence, whereas there is a sufficient degree of evaporation. Now next type is peaty soil, or we can say the peat soil, which we are getting in the area of northern part of Bihar, southern part of Uttarakhand, and the coastal areas of West Bengal, Odisha and Tamil Nadu. It is an unconsolidated black or dark brown soil material consisting of slightly decomposed or undecomposed fibrous vegetable matter that has accumulated in a waterlogged environment in which air is virtually absent. Because this type of soil is rich in humus and the organic content, so it is very important for agriculture. Also, it is an important source of fuel in some northern countries as in Russia and Ireland. But it gives less heat and known as heavy soil, in which large amount of clay is found. The another type of soil is the forest soil. As its name is forest soil, so that means it forms in the forest area where the sufficient rainfall is available. This soil is having a very good structure and textures, also in the different colors. These types of soils are found in the areas of Himalayas where a huge snowfall is there. Students, here we have seen the different types of soil in India. But nowadays the soil is degraded, or we can say it loses its quality. So let's see what is soil degradation and soil erosion. Students, soil degradation means decline in soil fertility due to erosion and misuse, whereas the soil erosion means the removal of upper layer of the soil by the running water and winds. Here we can say there are two major important agents due to which the soil erosion is occurring. These are water and the wind. The soil which is eroding by these agents, that is not only degrading the quality of soil, but it also forming some new kind of landforms. As due to the water erosion, the river is forming different type of landforms in the different area, as river valley and deltas and meanders, oxbow lakes, levees and different type of things. And if we talk about the erosion by the wind, especially this type of erosion is occurring in the area of desert, where in one area the wind is forming the mushroom rocks after the erosion. In the other area, in the condition of deposition, the wind is forming some kind of sand dunes. So there are some other reasons behind the degradation and soil erosion. These reasons are steep slopes, the torrential rainfall, stormy wind, overgrazing, overcropping and deforestation. So we will see how these factors are responsible for the soil degradation and the soil erosion. So at first, the steep slope. Steep slopes affect the rapidity of running water. On steep slopes, the intensity of soil erosion increases. The torrential rainfall. Heavy rainfall makes the soil particles loose and scoops out the soil, forming gullies and ravines. These gives rise to a dissected surface called bedland as in the Chambal Valley of India. The next is strong wind. Winds and dust storms blow away soil in dry areas. This process is known as depletion. And how the overgrazing and overcropping are responsible? Due to overgrazing, the vegetation cover become too thin to protect the soil. Rain and wind can easily erode the uncovered soil, whereas crop rotation maintains soil fertility, but overcropping and shifting cultivation, which earlier in the practice by the tribal communities, this renders soil infertile. The next and most important factor for the soil depletion and soil erosion, that is deforestation. Deforestation means the removal of forest cover and it exposes the area to soil erosion. The reckless cutting of trees has resulted in soil erosion along the Shivalik hills and human misuse of land through wrong farming practice, deforestation, etc. leads to the removal of soil cover. Apart from this, the factory wastage, the chemical use in the agriculture, and many more reasons behind the soil erosion. So, question is that how we can conserve the soil. Soil conservation stands for preventing soil erosion and maintaining the fertility of the soil, also the quality of soil. But how it could be possible to conserve the soil? As you can see in this chart. Here is a chart in which different soil erosion and areas are there which needs to be conserved. So if you will see in this chart, there are two columns in which in the first column there are few areas which needs for soil conservation as the large scale soil erosion, excessive use of fertilizers, faulty methods of cultivation, deforestation, overuse of land for cultivation, overgrazing and the shifting cultivation. And in the column B, you will see the methods of conserving the soil, in which these measures we can adopt to conserve the soil, in which there are a few measures. First is controlled grazing. Number 2, tracted farming. Number 3, ban of shifting cultivation. Number 4, contour binding. Number 5 is regulated forestry. Number 6, cover cropping. Number 7, mixed farming. Number 8, crop rotation. Number 9, land use mapping according their capability. And number 10 is awareness of people. Apart from these measures, government also decided and took few initiatives in soil conservation in India, in which many policies and rules and regulations are there. So these are few experiments have been made by the Cbse, or we can say the Central Arid Zone Research Institute in the desert area. And number 2, the Central Soil Conservation Board set up the Government of India has prepared a number of plans for soil conservation in different parts of the country. These plans are based on the climatic condition, configuration of land and the social behavior of people. Even these plans are fragmented in nature. Integrated land use planning, therefore, seems to be the best technique for proper soil conservation. in which we can include some more measures as afforestation to check soil erosion from rains and running water. Second, increase in the percolation rate of water in soil. Next is the adoption of scientific rotation of crop. Next, the better agricultural practice and crop management and the steps to reduce the volume and velocity of surface runoff. So students, here we have seen how we can conserve the soil. And here the chapter Soil in India is complete. Hope you understood it. We will study about water in our next video. So for that, keep watching SST Zone.